time for the Vols basketball team, going with the all-black unis and the orange numbers, something the football team has done. He is the ACC co-rookie of the week. By the way, Lucas Taylor is taking the place of Starling in the starting five. A turnover. Tennessee trying to push it with numbers. Pull up three from Ziegler, no good. Akpara got the ball in the slot. Syracuse 4-2. The two losses against Texas by 4, Texas Tech by 5. Back-to-back giveaways for the Orange in transition. The basket and the foul from Meshack. 3 straight turnovers now by Syracuse. The lob in the Elliott dunk, Lanier, and a foul. Got to at least get a shot on the rim. Can't keep turning the ball over. Once you cross midcourt, that'll help. Bringing the ball up the floor. Lampkin in the lane, spinning and finishing. Lanier in the front court. Syracuse gets back. They leave Milicic, though. Wild shot. Not there, but the tip is from Akpara.
The length of this Syracuse team. They mix and they go to the zone.
And how about Naheem McLeod out there getting some minutes? Is not. Dribble handoff to Elijah Moore. Pull-up jumper is good. To stay within striking distance of this very potent Tennessee team.
Now, Syracuse, when it started the season, played a ton of man-to-man.
There's a basket and a foul, and McLeod picking up.
Particular Cade Phillips.
He's got 6 points already, averages about 7. Lampkin scoring on the other end. Early on, Cade Phillips' dad, grandfather, and uncle all played football at Alabama. Best teams, which it's supposed to be. I think they should be in.
South Carolina have any claim with the way they finished their season?
They do have a loss to Alabama, which doesn't help, but they played hot down the. This is opening night for me as far as it goes in terms of college hoops. Great job with the hustle in here, getting
game, and that's led to 8 second chance points.
Elijah Moore can against Cornell last time Syracuse played. Pull up jump shot falls for Lanier.
That one was a little wild.
Ziegler, lob, and the slam by Phillips. 5'9" senior guard. Great tip. Wow, Cade Phillips. There's Milicic. Out to Ziegler. He'll try a 3. It's good. And a foul. The first made 3 for Tennessee. Now Ziegler. 10-0 run by Tennessee. On the other end, Carlos knocks down the triple. His first personal.
Miles and Hannah Hidalgo
for the Vols, and he turns it over. Good hands by Moore, now running the floor and getting the lefty layup.
Was the defensive rebound.
And a good pass that time to Freeman. Fall away jump shot swishes through, but Tennessee has great depth that makes him one of the best teams in the country. 3 is good, and that is the second triple. Ziegler, and he made the 3.
You cannot foul a jump shooter, period. And their balance at the offensive end of the floor has been elite so far this season.
And their defense continues to excel. It all started with the hustle play. Elijah Moore is the first Syracuse player as the alley-oop is converted with the in Central New York.
More importantly, what number did you wear on the intramural team for the Newhouse School of Broadcasting?
000. It's a special number. Here's Donnie Freeman, and he rattles it down. Rebounded. Ziegler down the paint, kicks it out. Hanging and scoring is Meshack.
That was one of the areas they thought they addressed. They struggled from rebounding the basketball a year ago. It's competition.
Carlos, 3 seconds left, takes it all the way, puts up the shot, and scores at the buzzer. Will be reevaluated later this week. They do not expect him to miss the rest of the season, so that's good news. Here's Milicic starting the second half by hitting a 3. And
for whatever time it's determined based on that reevaluation of his hand tomorrow.
Ziegler with the lob to Akpara out of his area to tip it home. Carlos penetrates, leaves it for Freeman, who scores over you
to fight and claw their way back into him.
Alley-oop again, Ziegler. This Lanier drills a 3, and Tennessee starting to catch fire now from deep.
Connection between Coach Autry and Coach Boeheim. They're not one and the same, and we've seen that shifted. They play a lot more man-to-man defense now. That's obviously a huge part of it. Venue sold out with 2 great programs going after each other. and done for the game of college basketball.
Getting to the paint.
And to start here in the second half, 22% from the field.
Lost to Purdue. And that
spectacular under his leadership. And that's why you get 21,000 people to show up on a Tuesday night for college basketball.
Gainey drills a three. What a second half heat. And you think of their history as the zone. You always think of the 2-3 with the top guys, the two guards usually being 6'5", 6'6", and having 3-on-2 if they hurry. Another alley-oop pass by Ziegler. That one broken up by Davis. Oh, how about that in transition by Chris Bell. Take it. Lanier drives by his man, and a foul called as Lanier hits the deck. They're going to get Davis.
So that man right there, Rick Barnes.
Dalton Connect obviously was a great player here in that mode without Dalton Connect on a consistent basis, realizing this is who we're going to.
Some of those games inside the SEC, you start losing rebounding battles and teams start going to work in the paint. That tonight. Akbar's done a good job, by the way, staying out of foul trouble.
And Estrella, you mentioned, out for the year with a foot injury. Hang and finish by
the rest of tonight and tomorrow to start to change that narrative a little bit. If they could sneak out a couple of wins, Kelsey has done early at Louisville, has been very positive.
And Elijah Moore has been the best offensive player by far for Syracuse tonight. He now is
being active there.
Lanier couldn't get the basket, but a turnover by Syracuse. Gainey all the way for the slam. 12 points in the second half. Last year made over 100 threes a year ago, and he's already got 29 this year, leading the SEC. Milicic taking it strong, drawing the foul and scoring on in the first half, despite not having its leading scorer, J.J. Starling, who's out.
Some of the smaller conferences for those regular season champions that won 30 games but lost on one night. It's an absolute massive game on ESPN at 9. By scheduling up, so many coaches have taken a much more aggressive approach to their non-conference scheduling. Sadiq White, as Paul Biancardi told me, the most athletic and explosive player in next year's recruiting class heading to Syracuse next year.
You mentioned Kyan Anthony, and then you get Luke Fennell coming from Australia as Bell gets the slam in transition. You mentioned the veteran players, whether they're guys that have been here or are transferring in, as Davis scores and is fouled. We were watching a drill before tonight's game. There were no coaches on the floor. 10 to 12 student managers. Looked like at one point there were more
player, and that space acts as another offensive player that you can operate your offense with.
Ziegler beats the shot clock.
184 career-made three-pointers now. It ties him with Admiral Schofield for top 10. There's a couple things I'm taking away from this game. One is Tennessee is legit. Two, Syracuse.
And you touched on this when we were talking about him earlier in the half, is how much he loves the game. He's the first guy out here wanted the ball in his hand. Blowout defeat of the year.
And they want Grant Hurst to score the basketball. Here he is with an attempt.
And he gets the layup inside. The arena's almost empty because everybody left to get a head start on traffic. How about Kyle Cuff? 5-0 against the ACC. And again, you look at the top 10, and it's heavy SEC. And still a third of the unbeaten teams in the country are from the SEC, including the Volunteers, who win.